Hi, everybody. This is Mrs. A. So, today I'm going to talk to you about classifying numbers. So, you should have completed a Venn diagram for classifying numbers. You'll notice that numbers break down into several categories. We have natural numbers. Natural numbers are positive numbers 1, 2, 3, 4, and up. Then we have whole numbers. And since natural numbers is inside of whole numbers, natural numbers are included. So whole numbers would be your positive numbers, 1, 2, 3, and so forth, and it includes 0. 0 is a whole number, but not a natural number. Then we move to integers. Integers has whole numbers and natural numbers inside. And since whole numbers and natural numbers include the positive numbers and zeros, integers also include those. But integers also includes the negative numbers. Rational numbers is this rectangle. And inside this rectangle, you can see that we have these ovals, which include the integers, the whole numbers, and the natural numbers. So rational numbers are natural numbers, they're whole numbers, and they're integers. But rational numbers are also fractions, whether they're positive fractions or negative fractions, mixed numbers or improper fractions. Rational numbers are the root of perfect numbers. So the square root of 4 is 2. So the square root of 4 is a rational number. It's also a natural number, a whole number, and an integer. Square root of 16, the cubed root of 27. Decimals are also rational numbers. Decimals that are terminating, like 1/2, which would be 0.5, or 2/5, which would be 0.4, or 3/4, which would be 0.75. These are terminating. And then you have the repeating decimals like 1/3, which would be 0.3333, or 2/3, which would be 0.66666, whether it's positive or negative. These are rational numbers. And then you have your set of irrational numbers. Irrational numbers are numbers that are non-terminating and non-repeating decimals. That includes pi, roots of non-perfect numbers, such as the square root of 2, the square root of 3, the square root of 5, the cubed root of 6. So these are non-terminating and non-repeating numbers. So this is your diagram. When you look at a number to classify it, you have to ask which number it falls into. So for instance, if I gave you 8/3, you were given 8/3 and you were asked to classify it, you would see that 8/3 is a fraction. Fractions are rational. So we would call this a rational number. Is it an integer? No, because it's going to be a fraction. This is going to be 3 goes into 8 two times with 2 left over, so this would be 2 2/3. This is a mixed number, which makes it rational but nothing else. Okay? If I gave you something like the square root of 4, okay? The square root of 4 equals 2. Now, 2, we can see, is a natural number. It's also a whole number. It's also an integer. And it's also rational. So if we were classifying the square root of 4, which equals 2, we would say that it is a natural number, a whole number, an integer, and a rational number. So it would be in all of these categories. What if I gave you something like -3? So -3, it's not natural, it's not whole because it doesn't have negatives. -3 falls in for the first time here in integers. So -3 would be an integer, and then it would be rational. So these would be the classifications for -3. You would tell me it's an integer and it's rational, and that would be it. What if I asked for the square root of 8? The Square root of 8 is not a perfect square. So we can only estimate the value of the square root of 8. Therefore, this number is irrational. Most of your numbers will be rational, but you will have some that are irrational. If you say it's irrational, that's it. It's nothing else. So classifying numbers, you just pick what category it's in and list everything that goes with it. Okay? That's all there is to classifying numbers. Thank you. Good luck.